To some people, when you mention hybrid, they freak out and they have no idea what it is. Oh, I don't like an EV, I don't want an EV. Well, no. A hybrid, just like the word says, has a gas engine and an electric motor, which is why it's called a hybrid. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I do car reviews and a little bit of DIY stuff. And next to me is the 2026 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid Limited. This has a 1.6 turbocharged 4-cylinder engine paired to an electric motor, making 231 horsepower and 271 pounds-feet of torque. Made it to a 6-speed automatic, no CVT here, and it has a mechanical all-wheel drive. What that means, there's power going from the front to the rear with a drive shaft mechanically. I'm going to talk about it, review it, go over all the specs and features. Stay tuned, that is coming up. And before I continue, I want to give a big thank you to Hyundai for allowing me to live with this Tucson in my home test area for a week, for me to live with and review for you guys. Thank you, Hyundai. You guys are awesome. And thank you, everybody else, for watching and liking. Stay tuned. All right, let's talk 2026 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid Limited. This is the top trim of the Hyundai Tucson in limited form, in hybrid form. Again, it's a hybrid system. This design language came out in 2025, so Hyundai completely massaged a little bit, very slightly. So the headlights, the DRLs are slightly separated from the previous generation. The headlights were identical. More of a bold look on the grille. The emblem is blacked out. The mouth is a little bit bigger on the back, but they're very different. They're very hard to distinguish from a 25 and a 24 and a 23. They look almost identical because, like the saying says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And as you guys can see, the blinking lights are the turn signals, which also is the daytime running lights. And right below that is the headlights. And before I continue, this will not be a Hyundai video if I don't show Hyundai's Smart Park feature. This is what the Hyundai key looks like. You have lock, unlock, engine start, stop, panic. Here you have the trunk open, forward and backward. So if I press this button now, the vehicle will slowly, as you can see, slowly start moving forward. I'm just holding the button, and if you let it go, it will of course stop. And if you press and hold the rear button, the car will start going backwards. And if you see the daytime running lights, as you guys can see, that's what they look like when it's in daytime running light mode. And in case you're wondering, will the car hit me if I stand in front of it? And the answer is no, it won't. As you guys can see, it stops. So you don't have to worry about anything because there is sensors, there's cameras all over the place. And that noise you're hearing is the pedestrian sign. So basically to alert people that you're coming in slow speeds. Now, moving around the sides, I have the car running because it is very hot today. My tester is sitting on Michelin tires, 235/55 on 19-inch wheels. These are the largest wheels available on the Tucson Limited. The styling is still very recognizable as a Tucson. You have, of course, this very, very expressive side end. You got this line here that goes this way, integrated turn signals on each mirror, 360 camera, so that means there's a camera here in the mirror, the front and the back. And overall, this is what it looks like. And this one has the panoramic glass. As you guys can see, the whole roof has an opening glass, which we'll go over in the interior section. And the Tucson has been around for a while, looking like this. I believe since 2023, if I'm not mistaken. And as you guys can see, the taillights, the car just turned off because it does that. Back here, again, the changes are so subtle. Unless you know what you're looking at, you cannot tell them apart, which is probably done on purpose. Hyundai very slightly updated the fonts on the emblems, so they're a little bit more 3D-like compared to the other versions. The taillights are absolutely identical. This Hyundai logo is a little bit more ghost in. The wiper still remains underneath the spoiler, which is nice and clean, but everything else looks the same. And the turn signals, which are not my favorite, they are in the bumper, as you guys can see. That also got slightly redesigned. They're a little fatter, and in the light there, that's how it looks like. Now that we're back here, let's take a look at the cargo area, which is very healthy. This is very, very large for a segment. These seats recline, and they recline, and of course you can tilt them down. And the trunk area, trunk capacity, the cargo, I will insert the numbers here, but as you guys can see, it's very large. You can fold these seats also by pressing this button here, and the seats will, like so, fold down. This is a very cool thing. So the cargo management has two levels. So right now it's on the deepest setting. So this meaning if you have something, it won't roll around and go all over the place. But let's say if you want it leveled, no problem. You could just tilt it up, take it out, put it in here, and now it's leveled next to these removable cubbies. And those cubbies are removable. You could just pick them up like so, and then you can put stuff under there and use it for whichever you like. Sadly, there are no spare tires in the hybrid versions. You only get this tire mobility kit, and then you have kind of like a underfloor partial shelf thing over here for cargo capability. My tester has the upgraded Bose sound system, so you do have a subwoofer, you do have speakers all over the interior. And before we go, let me actually, since the car is off, I can turn it back on. Show you guys the engine. Lock it, you press lock, you press and hold this button here, and the car comes to life. And then you press the reverse button, and you can see the car moving backwards like so. And you guys can see it is definitely driving itself. So now let me open the engine bay, show you guys what this guy looks like under here. It turned off because it probably hit the timer, but this is Hyundai's tried and true 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It's been reliable, no issues. You do have, of course, this is the inverter slash connectors to the battery, which lives underneath the seat inside the car. Tidy engine bay, but you probably won't be touching it because you do have powertrain warranty for 5 years or 60,000 miles. All right, let's jump inside. Let's go over the tech, the features of this 2026 and possibly the last generation of this body style Hyundai Tucson Hybrid Limited. Stay tuned for that. Okay, let's step inside the 2026 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. Simple affair, just put your hand on the door handle like so. If you want to lock it, you press this button right here, these little ridges, and it locks. It does not have those sensors in the back doors, only in the front. And let's take a look inside. Materials are very, very nice. So you have a little bit of combination with black materials here, soft padded here, injection molded stitching. This tester does have 2 position memory, so it remembers the seat and the mirrors. Soft padded armrest. Unfortunately, there is piano black on the window controls and the door locks. And decent sized pocket here. There's a speaker, Bose sound system, Bose branded badge there, Tucson door sills. And these seats are very nice looking. They're very comfortable, but unfortunately they stain easy. Maybe hard to pick up on camera, but this is a test car that I have of course, from Hyundai for a week, and it's already stained. And let's jump inside because it is very hot outside. And once you are inside, if you have been inside any modern Hyundai, you are greeted with dual 12.3-inch displays. And let me turn on the car before I cook myself. And you get, of course, that little warning, that little welcome sign from Hyundai. And it's a very nice place to be. This drives very, very nice. Again, my tester is the top trim, so it stickers in the high 40s, so $40-something thousand. Again, I'll insert the pricing in post. And this little guy here, which the camera picks up as two little beady eyes, that's your eye tracking system. So when you activate highway driving assist, this vehicle takes over in dedicated highways completely, and as long as you're paying attention to the road, it will not yell at you to hold the steering wheel or anything like that. Because it's a hybrid, it's also rated for, let me look up my notes here real quick. It is rated, let's see here. Okay, so it is rated at 36 mpg city, 37 highway, and 36 combined. So 37 highway, 36 city, and 36 combined, which is excellent in a vehicle of this class. Obviously, your mileage is going to vary depending how you drive. If you have a lead foot, doesn't matter if you're driving a Prius, you're still going to get horrible gas mileage. Obviously, if you drive this in a very conservative manner, if your commute, it's a mixture of stop and go traffic, you will see the MPG gains. My tester does have a heads-up display. Let me see if I can get the camera ready there. You might see the little floating 0 there. So that shows you turn-by-turn navigation, blind spot warning, lane departure warning, the automated cruise control, guidance, and things of that nature, which is nice. And Hyundai's current Hyundais, the technology is very straightforward, very easy. You have little buckets for each of the tech. So you have a phone projection. You could do a voice memo to yourself, weather, sports, setup, right here. So then this is the vehicle settings. So you have vehicle, navigation, sound, device connections, user profile. So you can set up for yourself, the missus, or your partner, whichever the case may be. Voice recognition, so you can activate and play with the voice recognition. Screen layout, displays to adjust the displays, which whether it's this, or the up there. This is the instrument cluster, so you can change the way it looks. So you could do cluster themes. So you could do, right now it's set to classic. Now if I set it to simple, then it goes to simple, like that. And if I set it to modern, it's all digital, which is really cool. And then the way it looks, you could change it, make it look tied to the driving mode, and it will do its thing. So it's super cool, super useful. Heads-up display, you could of course enable, there it is, or disable it. It does have built-in Alexa integration, which means you could probably say, the wake word, and it control your devices. Hey, start my car, and it will do that. So this infotainment is also over-the-air upgradable, which means that you can update this guy over the air. So which is nice, which means it will get new information, new software, new features, and it's very easy to use. So this is your hybrid screen here. So this is what the vehicle is doing. As you guys can see, I'm getting 28 miles per gallon, which is still pretty good. Obviously, if you have your air conditioner running, your mileage will vary. And moving down to the middle here, this is a capacitive touch climate controls, and you do have physical controls for home, map, search, media, your hazard switch, of course, track forward, backwards, favorites, setup, temperature. This is the tuning knob, and this is the volume and power knob, which is nice. And then you have your climate control dials here to adjust for the dual zone climate control for yourself and your passenger. And right below that, you have, let me get the camera in here. You do have USB-C power, high power, 100 watts. Here you could just do charge only, or if you do here, it would be charge and data, which is genius how they did that. You have a secondary one there, and then you have a traditional 12-volt power outlet, cigarette style outlet. It does have heated steering wheel, which is control right here. And moving to the steering wheel, it's very nice, very nicely padded. If you pay attention, most modern Hyundais do not have the H anymore. They have these 4 little dots, which means it's H in Morse code. It does have paddle shifters, and you're probably wondering, why would a hybrid need paddle shifter? Well, this vehicle does have a real traditional 6-speed automatic. So you are shifting real gears. So in eco mode, like the way it is right now, you can control your regen braking. If I put the car in drive, let me see if it lets me do it while I'm stopped. Yes. So if you can see, the regen braking is it's set to 3. If I press this paddle here, you can go to 2, 1, or 0. And that basically behaves like an EV in the sense that you're not using real friction brakes, your traditional brakes. The electric motor starts spinning backwards to slow down the car, which is nice, and it gives you it uses that energy to send back to the battery. So to charge up the battery, when the vehicle was dropped, it had 440 miles of range, which is excellent, of fuel range. And like I mentioned earlier, it does have 360 camera, so you guys can see the trajectory lines. You can of course change the views. Right now that's the default view. You can do the mirrors. You can do just the entire screen, so you can see everything in the back, or you could do kind of like a top-down view if you're hooking up a light trailer, because this thing is not designed to tow anything big. And this one's kind of like a cartoon / video game, so you can do this little spin around and you can see around the car, which is super neat, and it's pretty cool. And then you go to settings, you could tell it what to do, what you want the camera to do. So super useful. Also, the camera will continue functioning if you put it in drive, and it shows you the front camera, which is nice, and a top view. And this is what your shifter looks like if you're not familiar with modern Hyundai. So forward is drive, back is reverse, neutral you just click once, and then park you just press this little button here to go into park. And what else? Oh, and moving to the center console, we have the center lock, the locking center differential for the all-wheel drive system. This is your drive mode selector. So you have Eco, you have Sport, you have My Drive, which is customizable to whatever you're liking. You have Snow mode, and I leave it normally in Eco mode, so to maximize the fuel efficiency. This is auto brake hold. This is a dummy switch. This is downhill assist control. This activates the camera and the parking assist. So if you press and hold it, there basically tells you get out of the car, and you can basically park the car with the fob like I showed you guys earlier. Of course I can cancel it. And then this is your parking sensors on and off. And this is the wireless charger. And as you guys can see, I have my personal phone here charging, and you can see the little charge indicator here moving ever so slightly, and you can actually customize this lighting. You can make it pulse, so you could just, super cool. Cup holders are decent, and you do have a decent center cubby here underneath the floating island type of thing, so you can put, you know, for the ladies, you can put purses or whatever the case may be you want to put here. And you do have a decent sized cubby in here, no power in there, but that's fine. And you do have another partial shelf here, which also at night, this is where the ambient lighting shines, which is very nicely, and also shines on the door panels. And the mirror is auto dimming, so this one auto dims, all three of them actually. And last but not least, I must show the ginormous panoramic glass. As you guys can see, it goes all the way to the back, and then you press it one more time, then the actual glass opens, which is nice. And you can continue, and then you can close both. Just press both of them ever so hard, so slightly, and the shade and the glass closes. So super nice, super neat. Let me leave it open there so you guys can, so I can go in the back. And that is pretty much it up front. Oh, the wipers are also automatic, so you can of course set it to auto, and you guys can see you can adjust the sensitivity, and it will do a stain and wipe completely by itself. Super useful tech. That's pretty much it up front. Let's jump into the back seats, and then we go for a quick drive and final thoughts. Stay tuned for that. All right, let's jump into the back seats of the 2026 Hyundai Tucson. Oh, and before I jump into the back seat, I just want to add that it runs on regular fuel. No premium fuel here needed. just regular gas, regular 87, and you'll be fine. If this was the plug-in hybrid, it will have another lid on the other side of the car. This one does not have, it's not a plug-in hybrid. And materials back here are very similar to the front. This sadly changes to hard plastic. This also, materials kind of dumbed down a little bit. I understand they have to cut costs somewhere if you want to keep a certain price point, but this down here is exactly the same. And you have their synthetic leather and more of that piano black. And this, my Tester has 3 level heated seats because it is the Limited, so it does have heated seats in the back. You do have a decent sized pocket there. Ground clearance is also 8.3 inches off the ground, so which is a decent size. And let's step inside. The seat is adjusted to how I drive. I am 5'8". I have plenty of leg room, and let me spin the camera around, and as you guys can see, plenty of headroom as well. And the seat, I can recline it like so. It's almost like a little limo back here. I can chillax back here ever so nicely, and definitely makes the cabin, this panoramic glass makes the cabin very airy and more upscale. There's a look at the cluster from the back seats, and back here you do get 2 climate vents, which is nice. It's a nice little luxury feature, and 2 USB-C ports, and you do have 2 net style little pockets behind driver's side and passenger seat. And that is pretty much it. Let's take this Hyundai Tucson Hybrid Limited for my first drive and final thoughts. Stay tuned for that. All right, let's drive the 2026 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid Limited. And I find it very hilarious every single time I come to film in this local park that I come film here. Always somebody comes, which is always like clockwork. Either one person or 2. It's very hilarious. Like somebody always comes. I find it very, very funny. So anyway, Hyundai hybrids they're very good. The warranty is excellent. I think the warranty, if it's not rated to 120,000 miles because it's a hybrid, it might be just a 10100, the standard 10100. But regardless, you're gonna be covered and protected for a very long time with the hybrid system. And again, it's not a CVT, which is great. The power numbers are great. 231 horsepower and 271 pounds-feet of torque is beyond excellent. And right there, I let go of the brake, and it started doing the regen braking. If I turn on the, oh, it's not raining. No. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of dust. And hopefully the camera can pick up, but you guys can see what the hybrid system is actually doing. Right now, it says it's turned into charging, so you guys can see there's a little animation there. Right now the engine is on. If the engine were to be off, you'll get an indicator on the instrument cluster right here that will say EV. Like right now, the engine's off because I let go of the gas, and also you can see the engine icon is no longer displaying on the graphic here. It's just showing the electric motor, and that's the battery, which the battery is very small in hybrids. They're not big. Now, if there was a plug-in hybrid, it would be a tad bigger, because plug-in hybrids have the electric range. In Hyundai's case, the range is about 32 miles, give or take. And let me take it easy there, because I see my local state police, so I don't not get a ticket. And let's see if this person lets me in. Nope, they're not paying attention, because people don't pay attention anymore. And this is a very smooth vehicle. You know, there's a reason why this is Hyundai's bread and butter. And let me set the cruise control here and turn on lane keep assist and steering assist. Man, you just chill. This does a good job mitigating the speed. Right now, there's a lot going on right now in front of me, bikes and things of that nature. And if I turn on the icon, you guys can see right here what the car is seeing. It's funny because it sees cars as little blocks, which is always, I find that hilarious. So it shows little cubes here driving, which is very nice. But overall, if you're in the market either for a brand new Hyundai or a certified pre-owned Hyundai, this is not a bad place to start. Especially if you can find a hybrid one within your budget. Hybrid is an excellent choice because you save money, and especially in today's current climate with fuel prices kind of like on a roller coaster, up and down, left and right. So having a hybrid, even when gas is cheap, you'll still see the savings because you're not going to fill up as frequent, because in stop and go traffic and in cruising speeds, the engine will shut off. The engine will shut off and the electric motor will continue powering the vehicle, which is one of the many perks of having hybrid vehicles. Of course, the cruise control disables itself once you hit the brake, just like a traditional cruise control. And let me turn off everything here. Right now, again, I'm in electric only right now because, again, I am not using gas. But if you ever so slightly feather the gas while you're driving locally, and let me turn on the climate control maybe to, I don't know, 73 here, you can get excellent fuel economy. I mean, right now it's telling me I'm getting about 40, it says 27, as you guys can see, 27 mpg, but this doing 30 something miles per gallon, I don't think it's a pipe dream. You probably can get that, especially if your commute involves a mixture of stop and go traffic. You will be able to get what the MPG says, and more, depending how you drive. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my first review and drive of the 2026 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid Limited in all-wheel drive form. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for liking, for sharing my videos. I really appreciate it. And leave me your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, and I will see you all on the next one. Take care and stay safe.